Scientific experts believe that the vast majority of species who have lived on this planet are now extinct. The end of a species is usually the result of natural phenomena like climate change or natural selection. But over the last couple of centuries, man has had a big impact on which species live and die. Dr. Paul Johnson is the director of the Alabama Aquatic Biodiversity Center in Marion, and he's here to tell us about the Tulutoma snail. Did I say that correctly, Tulutoma?
Yes, you did.
Well, super. I was worried about that one, but I'm already one ahead.
Yeah, you are one ahead.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you for asking. Glad to be here. No, yesterday the Fish and Wildlife Service held an official downlisting ceremony for the Tulutoma snail. It was held at Wetumpka, and it's significant because this is the first downlisting of a freshwater mollusk that's been downlisted from endangered to threatened in the history of the Endangered Species Act.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the first one ever?
This is the first one ever. This species was actually thought to be extinct. It was rediscovered in the late 1980s, and then it was listed as endangered by the Fish and Wildlife Service in 1991. There have been subsequent surveys that have identified it in identified additional populations, and then we began in 2006. The Department of Conservation began to find them in the mainstem Alabama River, and it was that discovery really that led to the downlisting of the animal, because it had not been seen in the Alabama River for well over 60 years.
So is that the only habitat right now that you guys know of where they live, the Alabama River?
It's endemic to the Coosa and Alabama systems, and just as many other species like it in Alabama, those animals are unique to those drainage basins. They don't occur anywhere else but in Alabama.
Now, we had a picture of someone holding up a big chunk of grass. It looked like there was maybe about 40 of them on there. They don't look too endangered there.
Well, that's a unique aspect of this particular snail. They form these large colonies under large flat rocks in large rivers. So they actually live underneath the rocks in really large river habitat. And that was that particular photo that you're seeing now was taken at the base of Choccolocca Creek in Talladega County. But they form these large colonies. There are males and females, and there's juveniles on that rock as well. And they suspension feed. They feed a lot like freshwater mussels.
All right. Well, Dr. Johnson, we don't have a lot of time left. Really quickly, why is this important to conserve these animals?
Well, we have more federally listed mollusks in Alabama than any other state. In fact, Alabama is the center of diversity for freshwater mollusks, freshwater crayfish, and freshwater fishes, not only in the United States but globally. All right. So it's one down and about 64 federally listed species to go.
A lot of work left today.
Yes.
All right. Well, Dr. Johnson, thank you very much for being with us today. We'll get you back on here and we'll talk some more about it very soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed being here.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. You can find out more about conservation and how the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is working to protect the natural beauty of our great country by calling 251-441-6630, or you can find out more online at fws.gov.